Why does my child keep getting frustrated and give up so fast? Is it impacting him developmentally? Is my child going to be left behind socially and academically? Why can't my child believe in himself? I see parents often plagued by such doubts. These fears come up because the parent can see the child might not have enough confidence. Hi, my name is Deepthi. I'm an engineer turned teacher turned therapist, and in this video, we will be looking at 3 tools to build your child's confidence. These 3 tools give my children the attitude of I am a go-getter, I can solve problems. They believe themselves to be amazing creators. And it comes across in their conversation, even during sibling conflicts. It has helped them not give up on themselves or on the project they are working on. And all in all, I believe it has made them confident and the people they are today. So let's get started. Number 1, art trolley. I grew up believing I am just not good. I just cannot paint, I cannot color, sketch, draw, anything. And what did it do to my self-expression? Not much. There's a lot of research about self-expression being very important for young children, not just young children, even adults. And when you engage in day in and day out, what it does is not only does it promote positive emotions, it also deepens focus, improves memory, and other cognitive skills which each and every child requires in life. And knowing this, I was sure that I want my children to dabble in art. I don't want them to become someone like a Picasso or a Leonardo da Vinci. If they become, that's great. But even if they don't, I want them to have these relaxation techniques in their kitty box. A dedicated art space is required. If they use a color crayon, it usually used to be thrown away on the floor. It became very difficult for the child to pick up and put it back in. And for me also, I was getting a lot frustrated. And that is when I came across this art trolley concept. This art trolley is from IKEA. And the reason I like art trolleys is because of the way it allows me to organize things on it. Everything is open and everything is accessible at the child's height and safe, no sharp corners. Whenever they want to create, the art trolley moves with them. And cleaning up is so easy. They know what goes where. So they pick up those items and they put it in those particular small boxes. And all the art stuff is there for them to see and to decide what medium they are going to use to create the next art piece. On the first layer, we have color pens, dot markers, erasers, sharpeners, dusters, stapler pins, cellophane tape. There's not much reason to setting up the art trolley in this way. After a lot of experimentation, we found that this works for us. At tier 2, I've kept all their crayons, color pens, pencils, stamp cutters, long color pencils. At level 3, it's mostly wet painting or acrylic paints, poster paints, their watercolor paints, and bottles in which they can actually mix up those paints, brushes, sponges, stamps. It's a very simple, beaten up art trolley. But we love it and we use it so very regularly. There's not one day when my children don't use their art trolley for their creation. Number 2 is bookshelf and invest in books. The reason I'm saying bookshelf instead of books is because the moment you have a bookshelf, you are going to fill it up with books. Having an open bookshelf changes a lot of things. We used to keep our books inside a closed cupboard. And what I saw was children forget, like what they don't see, they are not going to remember to take out and read. So what I next did was I started placing baskets all around the house so that they can pick out the books, and that wasn't working that well for us because a lot of books tend to be left all over, and it was becoming difficult to search for one book at a time. This is a second-hand bookshelf. My parents passed it on to me. If a closed bookshelf is working very well for you, please go ahead. There is a closed bookshelf in which we keep other books which are not probably in the season. The reason we leave a little bit of space is because this way, when cleaning up, children pick up their books, and if they are not in a mood, even it applies to me also, if we are not in the mood, we just place it here, and when we have time, we make it neat. When searching for a book, it's easier when it's not crowded. If it has space, children can easily search for titles they want. It's not just about the bookshelf. The idea is to go ahead and invest in good books, good non-fiction books, good fiction books. Yes, library works great. The reason I am talking about this under confidence is because reading books has a lot of benefit. They learn so much from it. In our home, whenever our kids have doubts, we make a note of it, either in my phone or on a whiteboard, and then we revisit that question. I can easily just take out my phone, search for the answer, and give the child the answer. It's the process that is more enriching for the child than just finding out the answer. So during a walk, my daughter had a doubt about where this wind is coming from. Why is it so very loud? Why is it so very fast? And a great question, right? A great opportunity to talk about things. I told her, why not check your library? We had to read 2 books to find out the answer. This one by Usborne and DK's Life Cycle, which gave her an idea. She had more doubts and she wanted to do a science experiment to understand water cycles. Learning should be made fun for them, like detective work, instead of just simply getting from point A to point B. It has to be enriching for their soul. It has to be satisfying for their soul. Not just answering the question. You have the answers out there, and when you're short of time, yes, we do use ChatGPT or Google, even YouTube to find the answers. But there are times when these books make learning more interesting. That element of curiosity, that fun we get out of learning something new, that is kept intact when we find the answers through books. If you are interested in learning about what titles we have or any kind of recommendations that you want, let me know in the comments, because I can make a big video on this. We source our books from local sellers, small businesses like Oak Tree Book House, Filio Books, and there are many more. If you want, I can definitely make a video completely on books, on what different books you can buy, which can help your child in their learning journey. Let me know that in comments. Number 3, magnetic tiles. I don't know what it is about these magnetic tiles. Maybe it's the snap you hear, or the fact that it can be built into anything the child wants, but something about it attracts every child who has walked into our home. And it is my children's favorite too. There isn't a day when my children don't play with magnetic tiles. They are the creators. And creating something by themselves is skill building. They are building themselves up. Even if you don't invest in magnet tiles, you have something equivalent at your place. For instance, it could be Legos or building blocks. Having 2 or 3 different open-ended items to play together deepens their creativity process. I introduced magnet tiles to my kids at a very early age. My son was probably 10, 11 months old. You have to understand there are stages in magnetic play or any kind of block play. There are roughly 6 stages. Stage 0 is when the baby puts tiles in their mouth. Stage 1 is when they learn to probably separate 2 magnetic tiles. It's great fun, usually wanting to move them, put them back together, grab them. They are working on their fine motor skills. Stage 2, children start making 2D shapes, and we can introduce vocabulary about a certain color or shape. You can use 2 primary shapes. Let me show you. Like 2 primary triangles or shapes to make another shape. These things are interesting for children, and also you can do a lot of light play. Keep it against the light, and the color of the light passing through the magnetic tile, it changes. Stage 3 is when they start making their own 3D structures. And this time you can start teaching them the names of these structures. This is a pyramid, triangular based pyramid. Stage 4 is when they start creating their own creations. It could be a very simple tower like this. They keep making the tower again and again. They stick to a simple, known, easy to make shape, but they are learning, and allow them repetition. And also remember, these stages don't always gradually go up. Sometimes the children go back and revisit previous stages. Allow them to do that, allow them to explore. The important thing is they are developing focus through these kind of play. So my children integrate blocks, magnet tiles, and peg dolls. Stage 5 is when everything becomes beautiful. They start bringing in a lot of different elements into their play, making amazing castles, beautiful vehicles, Lego toys, and the different dolls. The world they build with these magnet tiles, the stories, and it's absolutely at a different level. I highly recommend getting connectic styles. The difference between connectic styles and, let me show you, and other tiles is this. Like, do you see this? One, it is a lot prettier. It's a lot more sturdy. But the reason we stick with connectic styles is because they offer a lot of different shapes. And that makes play a lot more interesting for children. The idea is not to make you buy magnetic tiles. The idea here is that there will be some open-ended materials which will work for your child. Magnetic tiles need not work for everyone, but there will be an equivalent open-ended toy, or I don't want to call it toy, it's more like a material which will work for your child, which will help to increase their focus, which will give them more creativity, freedom to explore, and that satisfaction, that feeling of, I can do this, I'm good at this. These emotions are very important for confidence. I speak a lot more about building confidence, self-worth and esteem in children in my previous videos. I'll link it here. Take a look if this is a topic of your interest. And for all those who stay till the end, thank you so much. Please let me know which of these 3 tools you're already using or would like to use, how. And if you have any doubts about any of the things that you saw, please let me know in the comments and I'll make a video next on it. Thank you and have a very nice day. See you in my next video. Bye from Everything Parenting with Deepti.